welcome to my channel. My name is Madeline if you're new. If not, welcome back. So as you can tell by the title today, we are going to be doing a video all about how your homegirl gets up super duper early. So this has been one of my highest asked questions since 2020 has started, just because I have made it a resolution to get up at like 5 a.m. every single day that I'm alive. First it started as like a challenge to see if I could just do it for like a week straight, and then it kind of pushed into like 2 weeks, and now it's become an extremely regular thing. But I do want to say that I don't wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, because there's days where I accidentally have slept in, or like on a Saturday I sleep in, but it's really crazy because when I sleep in now, I sleep till 8 a.m. So this time last year, if you would have told me that I would sleep in until 8 a.m., I would think you were like high on crack, because I couldn't even wake up at 8 a.m. I would sleep in until like noon, wake up naturally around 10 or 11 a.m. So now your girl is like got her life. I can wake up super duper 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 early, and I have ways to make it easy and doable. You have to kind of train yourself to do it and get in the mindset, but once you do, and once you kind of reap the benefits that waking up that early and having those extra hours, it becomes like an addiction, like a habit. So that's like the first thing, and like the most obvious is that you're gonna have to go to bed a little bit earlier. So for me, I typically would have went to bed between midnight and 2 a.m. That was like the time frame I went to bed, because I spent time editing and doing all my work at nighttime, like before bed, and playing on my phone and stuff. So I didn't just like jump from going to bed at 2 a.m. to like 10 p.m. I like slowly over time pushed it back. So like one night I went to bed at midnight, and then the next night I went to bed at like 11:30, and then the next night I went to bed at 11, and the next night I went, and eventually it just became natural. I get extremely tired around like 9:30, and then I lay down for bed and I'm typically out by like 10. I'm out. So going to bed earlier does make waking up easier, but it's not a golden ticket at first. That was something I had to really understand, because I didn't understand how I got 8 hours, how I went to bed early, and how I was still waking up at like 5 a.m. like, where am I? Why am I doing this? My next tip for you guys is going to be to do a quick cleanup before bed. So I naturally kind of have always done this, just because when I wake up in the morning, I do not want to clean anything. But when you're waking up that early, you especially don't want to have to clean anything. You want to wake up, sit down, have your coffee, and have time to really wake up and enjoy the morning. So if you wake up to like a big sink of dishes, or your couch is all disheveled, or there's garbage all over the floor, or there's laundry overflowing, it makes it a lot harder. Stop! I got her a little squeaky avocado toast, and this hoe is friggin' obsessed with it. My next tip for you guys, and this one is one that you will hear anybody tell you, okay, if you're trying to wake up early, and that is to set your alarm away from you. So what this does is completely eliminate your snooze button, because I don't even understand how this happens, but without me even realizing it, my alarm would go off and I would wake up and like snooze it and go back to bed. And sometimes I wouldn't even remember doing it. I was like, my alarm didn't go off, but it does. You just snooze that ish before you have a chance to wake up. So if you set your phone even like 5 feet away from your bed, I set it on my desk in the morning so I can hear the alarm going off, and it's gonna go off until I physically get up out of bed and go get it and snooze it. And by that time, you know, by that time you're like up already, you pulled yourself out of bed. It's like, I'm up, I might as well stay up kind of thing. All right, cool. Make yourself comfortable, make yourself at home. Just have a seat. Okay, so that's gonna happen. She's just gonna lay there. Come on. This is it. This is the squeaky toy that you guys keep hearing. Peach, I'm filming. Can we play with it after? Look at all those toys over there that don't have squeakies. So my next tip for you is highly effective, okay? It sounds crazy. It doesn't even sound like plausible, but it is. So there is a book out there called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Highly recommend. If you haven't read it, read it. But basically, as human beings, we kind of like to connect physical activity with human like emotion and thoughts and feelings, which they don't have a correlation, right? So like you need to wake up. It's better for you to wake up, but your brain will trick you into thinking this doesn't feel good, I don't want to do it. So basically count backwards from 5 when your alarm goes off. Okay, so you just, as soon as your alarm goes off, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On 1, your feet hit the floor, you're already awake. What this does is stop your brain from talking you out of waking up before the action even happens. So I've really built up this habit over the past few weeks, but as soon as the alarm goes off, as soon as it goes off, my brain automatically is like, oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By 1, I'm up. It works every time. I also use this when I go to the gym in the morning because sometimes I don't even want to get out of my like warm, cozy car. I'm like, maybe I should just turn around and go home. But I do the same thing when it comes to opening my car door and getting out and going into the gym. I count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm out of the door. I'm already walking in the gym. And it really does help you get over all of those mental like roadblocks that kind of talk yourself out of stuff, because a lot of times your brain just talks you out of stuff that is even good for you, things that you kind of need to do. So definitely try that technique out. It's kind of like, the way I like to describe it is it's kind of like when you're scared to do a cannonball or like jump into the pool, or you're like, okay, I'm just gonna count down 3, 2, 1. The reason you do that is because it kind of distracts your brain from talking yourself out of it. So just that countdown kind of makes you do it. And it's the same thing, you know, when you don't want to wake up, or you don't want to go to the gym, or you don't want to do something, that countdown really does help. So definitely try that out. I swear to God, it works. If you've been watching me for a while, or watching any of my Motivational Mondays, or watching any of my morning routines, you know that I preach making your bed. Everybody preaches it, okay? And I remember people constantly saying successful people make their bed, blah, 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 blah. Seriously though, it's true. Making your bed starts your day off right. And I make this ish so tight, so clean, so pretty, so that I don't have any motive to get back into it. So like right when I wake up, I'm up, I turn my alarm off, I turn around and I make my bed. The bed has to get made first thing because I will get back into it at some point. Whether I come home from the gym or after I have my breakfast, I will kind of like work my way back into the bed or sitting on the bed. But if it's made, I am not getting back in that hole. I'm not touching the bed. I'm not gonna get back into it. It looks good. So just stay out of your bed, make it first thing, get into that healthy habit, because one, that also helps you like create healthier habits. It puts you in like this clean mindset. Like, dang, I started my day off with an act that's already good and organizational. So the rest of my decisions are going to be impacted based off this one little task I started with. So try it. Try it out. See if it works for you. It's worked for me. It's a great morning motivator, honestly. So one thing that really threw me off in the beginning was everyone saying, oh, if you just keep doing it, it gets easier. If you just wake up every morning, it gets easier. But I can flash back to high school, and I remember at 5 a.m., no matter how many days a year I woke up at 5 a.m. to get ready for school, I did not want to wake up to get ready for school. So the whole keep doing it and it gets easier thing is not going to work unless you are getting up for yourself. So in high school and stuff, when you're like younger and you're getting up because your parents are making you get up, you're getting up for something else someone expects you to do. So it makes it a lot harder for you to wake up. But if you're waking up for you, or you're waking up because you're using this extra time to, get some tasks done, or you're waking up so that you have some time to relax first thing before the rest of the world wakes up, you need to make sure that you're waking up for something for you. So think of it kind of like, waking up Christmas morning. For some reason, waking up on Christmas morning is so easy because you're excited and you are doing it for yourself and you already have something planned, you have something ready to go. Or for my people that have had like early flights, like you're going on a vacation. Me and Terrell went to Vegas recently and our flight was at like 4:30 a.m. But for some reason, waking up for that flight was a breeze because you're so excited, you're pumped up. You're not doing it for an expectation for others, you're doing it for something for you. So it's kind of like that. If you wake up with that mindset, or you go to bed with that mindset because you're like, yes, I get to wake up and do this, or yes, I get to have my coffee alone in peace and quiet while the rest of the world is asleep, it makes it a lot easier. My next tip tip for you guys, especially if you're waking up in the early hours of the morning, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. type of deal, you typically will be waking up before the sun rises. This was something that took me a minute to get over because there's something about getting up before the sun rises that kind of demotivates you. It made me think like, okay, the sun's not up, why should I have to be up? It's still dark outside, this is too early. So like walking through my house in the dark really kind of unmotivated me and made me just want to lay back down and go back to bed until the sun rose. So what I do when I first wake up is I get out of bed and then I set my mood. So as you can see, I have these really pretty twinkle lights behind me. I turn these on. I light some candles. I make sure to turn kind of any type of mood lighting on. If you have like drapes, I would draw those so you can't pay attention to how like dark it is outside. And just kind of set the mood so that you're in this cozy, like warm, quiet space, and it makes you kind of excited to be up and motivated and kind of, you know, gently wake your body up. And then if you are waking up around like 7 or 8 a.m. where the sun is rising, expose yourself to that light right away because it's gonna help you wake up. So walk outside with your coffee, let your dog out first thing, and just kind of soak in that natural light because that's also gonna help you wake up. So those are my tips kind of if you're waking up when the sun's up or if you're waking up when it's dark, because it's kind of both for me. Like if I wake up at 7 a.m., the first thing I do is I walk outside with my dog and breathe in natural air and like kind of look at the sunrise because it wakes me up. And then if I wake up before the sun rises, I set the mood of my entire apartment so that it's really cozy and happy and like motivating that I'm up, and kind of encourages me to do it the next day. Going from hating waking up early to a straight up morning person is like a huge shift, and a lot of it is like cognitive. So you kind of have to trick yourself into liking it, because at first it's like, oh, I don't want to get up early, but then eventually you're like, yes, I can't believe I did it. Look at all this time I got. I'm a morning person. Like you were asleep this morning and I was up doing this, this, and this. So the way I kind of tricked myself was changing my mindset. So it's so easy to have the mindset and even verbally express I have to get up early. Instead of saying I have to, switch it to I get to, as if it's a privilege. So wake up in the morning as if I get to wake up early. I get this opportunity, heck yes. Or I went to bed early so I get to get up early. It switches your brain into thinking that this is something you genuinely wanted and get to do. It's a privilege and you're happy you got to do it. So what you're gonna wanna do when you're waking up early is to eliminate your excuses. So if you set your outfit out in the morning, you have no excuse to not get up and get dressed, because that's already set out. You don't have to like, oh, I have to get up and pick something out and figure out what I'm wearing. But if you set it out the night before in, you know, in order exactly of how you're gonna even put it on, there's no excuse to not get up and put it on. And once you've gotten up and put your clothes on, like if you're going to the gym, the first thing I do is put my gym clothes on and I throw my shoes on, because sometimes if I stay in my socks and walk around, I can talk myself out of going. But if my shoes are on, my freaking gym shoes are on, I have to go now. My shoes are laced up, I'm ready to go. If you haven't heard of this next tip, I'm about to put you on. So for a while last year, I was using this app called Noom, and it's kind of like a fitness wellness app, and it taught me about this thing called habit batching. So essentially what habit batching is taking something you don't like doing and pairing it with something that you love doing, and then eventually it tricks your brain into loving the thing you didn't even like doing in the first place. So for me, I started with reading. I remember like closer to last year, I hadn't been reading books for like a long time. I just like stopped reading, okay? And I've never been a huge fan of reading anyways. I like Audible books and I like to be lazy. So I started taking books, and then I started drinking my coffee with my books at my coffee shop. And I told myself that I wasn't allowed to go get my coffee unless I took my book and I read a few chapters of my book. So then eventually reading those chapters, I didn't even need the coffee anymore. I started just reading it because I started liking doing that. I didn't need the coffee. And then I also did this when I started going to the gym, because at first I was not a fan of going to the gym, but I would latch onto like a Netflix show and I would only allow myself to watch those episodes if I was at the gym. So I was like watching all the old Jersey Shore seasons and stuff, and I wasn't allowed to watch them at home. I could only watch them if I was on the treadmill at the gym. So then eventually the thing I didn't like doing, going to the gym, became so natural that even when I finished my show, I just kept going to the gym. I liked going to the gym. So I highly recommend habit batching when you're waking up early in the morning. Bribe yourself to get out of bed. Bribe yourself with that coffee. Tell yourself, if I don't get up right now, I'm not gonna let myself have that delicious, warm, succulent latte. Let that be your thing. It's kind of like bribing and completely changing your cognitive behavior on the thing you didn't even like doing in the first place. Last thing that you're gonna want to completely and fully understand before you decide to start this journey to becoming a morning person is to understand your why. You already have one. You already have a why because you're watching this video. And if you made it to this step, then you watched it all the way through. So your why is gonna determine why you wanna get up early in the morning. What is the purpose? If you're just waking up with nothing in mind or no reason why, you'll just find yourself kind of like wandering in the middle of your kitchen at 5 a.m. like, why am I awake in the first place? So figure that out before you decide to start. So are you waking up early just to have alone time? Are you waking up early to get some stuff done? Are you waking up early to go to the gym? Are you waking up early to implement meditating into your life? Are you waking up early to set your tasks for the day before the rest of the world is awake? Figure out why you are awake that early, why you want to get up that early, what the reason for those extra hours are, and it makes it so much easier to get up when you have a purpose, when you have a reason. When I first started, I was just doing it just to do it. And so like I would just find myself like sitting on my couch at like 5:15 a.m. and being like, now what? When I started to wake up and go to the gym, and then wake up and clean up a little bit, and then wake up and edit some footage, and wake up and take a nice warm shower, I had a reason. I knew that I was waking up because I had tasks and stuff that I wanted to get done before the rest of the world even woke up. So that's it. That's all I did. That's how I became a morning person in 2 months, and I wake up at 5 a.m. every day like nothing happened. You can do it too. I know it's crazy, especially especially if you're already not a morning person to begin with. You can definitely train yourself to do it. It's not impossible. So figure out your why, try out habit batching, try the 5-second rule, set your alarm away from your phone, and just try out all these hacks and tips, and before you know it, you're gonna be waking up like, damn, I was born for this. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload. If you try any of these out and they work for you, comment below and tell me, like, dude, I woke up at 5 a.m. I've been waking up for 5 a.m. for a week. I want to hear you guys implementing these into your life to see if they work for you, because it really seriously has worked for me. I could never wake up early in the past, and now I just do it naturally. I sleep into 8 a.m. is my sleep in time, okay? I completely rewired my brain to be a morning person, to wake up early, and you can too. So try this all out. All of my socials will be linked down below, my Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, so you guys can follow me and talk to me there. And that's all I have for you guys today. So I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.